Welcome to another edition of Diplomatic Channel. I am Amarachi Ubani. U.S. President Donald Trump has been 100 days in office, and he says he never expected it to be so hard. In his words, I miss my old life. The president has faced several challenges, especially from within America, and we on the other side of the Atlantic are still wondering what to make of the new leader of the free world. Here's a wrap-up of President Trump's first 100 days in office.
100 days have felt like a whole year in the United States. Donald Trump came into power promising to shake up how Washington does business. Even in his inaugural speech, focused on how he will focus on America, pulling her people from the brink of obscurity and positioning it above all other countries. You will think America will be pleased by the president's promises, but from day one, they protested against his presidency. A massive women's march paralyzed the U.S. Capitol on day 2, and regular protests across the country have become a trend.
Ain't no power like the power of the people, because the power of the people don't stop.
Though a political outsider, Trump's cabinet raised eyebrows as former military generals, Wall Street insiders, and Republican Party loyalists took key positions in the new administration. But controversies quickly ensued over a series of executive orders and actions, the most prominent being immigration and Obamacare, both hindered by the courts and federal lawmakers. President Trump is yet to make any international trips, but has met world leaders in the White House, making headlines with his meeting with the German Chancellor Angela Merkel, whom he refused to shake hands with, even when asked, to an awkward handshake with Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. He supported Brexit when the British Prime Minister Theresa May came calling, and though he and the Canadian Prime Minister seemed to be on the same page on a lot of mutual interests, Trump recently took a swipe at Canada, saying they were taking unfair advantage of the United States in trade. Then, members of his administration were found to have ties with Russia and are being investigated by the FBI. International organizations such as NATO and the EU were not spared from Trump's sharp, unfiltered comments. Back home, he was at constant war with the press, some of whom he began describing as fake media. White House Press Secretary Sean Spicer gives the administration a pat on the back.
We're proud of what we've done, but I think we want to make it very clear that we've got 7+ years to go, and this president is going to do a lot to help this country grow and be a safer place, but we don't want to be judged just on the first 100 days. We've got a long way to go.
The so-called relationship between the United States and Britain is satirized in graffiti art in the North London affluent area, depicting British Prime Minister Theresa May dancing with Trump from the movie La La Land, but with the words Lie Lie Land written above. Opinion polls by Reuters show his approval rating slipping, with lower enthusiasm among white men without college degrees, the core of his political base.
Thank you, everybody, for being here.
I have with me two members of our panel to discuss President Trump's 100 days in office, former Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and one of our regulars on the program, Ambassador Joe Keshi, is here with me in the studio, and President and CEO of the African Entrepreneurs Coalition and President of the United People for African Congress, Dr. Sylvester Agiri. He's joining us via Skype from Washington, D.C. Gentlemen, I'm glad that you could join us on the program. Ambassador, let me start with you. You're one of those who was shocked by Donald Trump's election into the White House, and it was a surprise also for lots of people, especially for those of us on this side of the world. Now that that shock has worn off, do you think he's now more presidential?
Not really. I think he's trying to be as presidential as possible. But you know, with Donald Trump, he does well one day. The second day, he takes 2 steps backward. I watched his speech last night in Pennsylvania, and And I think for many people, it was not a presidential speech. He is still very much in the campaign mood. He's still calling out people, insulting people, and still repeating his campaign promises. 100 days, he should have done what a couple of presidents have done in 100 days. They set the parameters for some of the programs they will execute in the 4 years tenure that they have. So, you know, he could still turn out to be a great president. You know, he has 4 years to go. But as for now, there's a lot to be, there's so many things worrisome about the Trump presidency.
Dr. Okere, you supported the Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton with her loss in the election. You dissociated yourself from the Democratic Party and any political movements in the United States, choosing now to focus on preparing the next generation. In the early days of the win, you changed your mind on Donald Trump. Do you still hold the same beliefs?
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me. I did not switch from the Democratic Party just because of the loss, but it came to a point where I have to understand that the interest of African community is more important and supersedes whatever role or affiliation. So I decided to make myself unaffiliated to better represent the African community